Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special presentation by Cryptic Gaming Network. Guys, I am here today to review WWE 2k16. I want to send a special thank you to 2K for giving me the opportunity to review this game. Alright guys, well, let's just start off. WWE 2k16. I'll give you guys some soft facts here. I was not a fan of 2k14 or 2k15. The games were horrible. 2K15 was the worst one by far. It was pretty much already finished by THQ by the time 2K got it. And we've seen what that happened. Now, I'm going to get into what they did right. Create a Superstar was horrible last year. In fact, to the point that they lost Create a Diva, which that was a big no-no for me because that singled out a lot of the female fans of the series. They brought that back, so that's a positive note. So that makes the creation shoot decent. It could be better, yes, and they really need to improve upon this area and add more stuff and stop taking things out. So the creation suit, I'd say out of 10 being the best, I'd say it's a solid 7.5, 8. Out of 10 being the best, it's a 7.5 to an 8. Now let's move on to the next offline mode that I'm going to talk about. My career mode. This had so much potential last year, but fell short of the mark. It was too short, not enough to do in it. I can tell you from having this game since Monday night late, that this career mode, my career mode, is a lot different. It is longer. The rivalries seem fresh and fun. And it's just overall great. The my career mode compared to last year out of 10 being the best, I would have said 2K15's was a solid 5 or 6 just off the idea alone of it. It was a creative idea. That's all it got because it just fell so short of where it needed to be. But this year's mode, my career, I'm going to get into more detail here in a minute why I like it, but generally speaking, this mode already is better than last year's. There's so many different reasons why. The rivalries make the entire my career mode worth playing. The abilities you have to run in on your rivals, to help out your partners and friends, alliances you've made, are amazing. How everything is managed for you. It makes the game have a high, replay factor offline. I want to take a brief moment before this match starts to tell you I am not reviewing the online modes in this video. I'm going to review the entire online community in the next video, which should be up sometime this weekend. But for the my career mode, this of 2K16, it's amazing. I love that they updated it and they had the new head trainer for the Performance Center, which we all know as Albert or A-Train or Lord Tenzai. He actually is the new trainer at the Performance Center for WWE with the departure of Bill DeMott. I'm glad they kept that updated. Now, a little piece of advice. When they tell you how to do certain things, not like the chain wrestling, because we all know how to do this if you play these games, but when it comes to the new submission system or the new kick-out system, pay attention to what they tell you to do, because if you don't, you'll struggle with it. Alright. But back to the My Career mode. This is just the tutorial I'm playing. The tutorial is forever long. It doesn't even end until your first rivalry comes to a close. Didn't understand that. I thought that the tutorial had ended, but it hadn't. You learn this slowly through playing it, but it's fun. Rivalries last between 4 to 6 matches. Typically, if you get 3 victories, 3 or 4 victories, it ends and you win. This is what I'm talking about. If I'd have paid closer attention, I just read what it was trying to tell me, and I thought I knew what I was doing. I did not know what I was doing. All right, and that's something I want to review right now. The submission system, 2K, guys, it wasn't broken to begin with. The kick-out system was not broken to begin with. The reversal system, if you want to play with that, so be it. But the kick-out and submission system were fine. Tapping to get out. Now you sit there and say, oh, turbo controllers ruin that for everybody. Okay, well then make it to where no peripherals minus PlayStation controllers will work. You know, that's what you do. That's how you shut that down. Alright, where your game won't recognize anything but PlayStation or Sony or Microsoft branded controllers. That's how you get around that. You do not need to do this. Go back to the kick-out system that's tapping the buttons. Go back to the submission system that's tapping the buttons. That was the best system possible. You've overcomplicated it, in my opinion, with these joystick controls for submission and the timing aspect for kicking out. The reason I don't think it's a good idea for timing to kick out is because online, if there is any lag or latency issues, you're not going to kick out in time. And then you just lost the match because they have a worse connection than you. And they may not even damaged you. You know? That's why I think it. But as for my career mode in general, guys, this year's, like I said, last year's was a 5-6 out of 10. This year's, after playing it for all this last 2 days, I give this one a solid 9 to 9.5 out of 10. 2K, you did an amazing job with the My Career Mode this year. Work on the controls, fix the things I've talked about and what we've all complained about, and you'll be golden. Last but not least, I want to talk about the graphics of this game. In a game that's probably not going to be played online a whole lot, there is going to be a community that plays it online. I'm not saying that. I don't mean to disrespect anybody who does. I myself used to play these games as my go-to multiplayer game. They just don't have the huge multiplayer following as the Call of Duties, the Destinies, stuff like that, the Maddens. They just don't. That's all I was saying. But for the majority of people picking this game up, they're going to play the computer, they're going to play Universe Mode, My Career Mode. That's what they're going to do with it. So with that stated, everything offline needs to be perfect. You've got a lot of stuff graphic-wise down pat. The creative superstars look the most real they ever have. But you can't do that at the expense of most of the superstars not really looking like themselves. My prime example of this is Seth Rollins when he comes out here in a little while. It bears resemblance to him, but it looks nothing like him, in my opinion. It's way off. Just something looks way off on it. The crowd looks better this time than they ever have, but that's not saying a whole lot. We are in the 4th generation of consoles. We don't need to be able to see in detail the ones back there in the bleachers, but everybody on the floor needs to look better than they do right now. It really takes away. And the commentating, 2K, you guys really, my best opinion for you is to sit there and just ask WWE for some sound bites of commentary for the last 20 years, and you guys just put your track audio together from that. Make a soundboard, make an algorithm that works with it, because the commentating is killing this game. Is it better than 2K15's? Yes, but that's not hard to do. 2K15 and 14's had the worst commentating ever. But back to the graphics. Graphics, guys, look at this. He looks decent, but it doesn't look like him. It looks like the Wicked Witch of the West and Seth Rollins had a baby, and this is what came out. You got the face wrong. I'm sorry. With all this stated, graphics on a scale of 1 to 10, I give you a 7. And there's no excuse for that. We're in the second/third year of development for the next-gen consoles. On PS4 and Xbox One, this game should look damn near realistic. Have you not seen the other games out there? Madden looks phenomenal this year. You guys make your NBA games. Those look good. You guys just got to work on it a little better on the graphics wise. I appreciate what you did, but graphics, if you want to be the best ever on the system, they're 7 out of 10. So just work on that a little bit. As for controls, I have to say I'm pretty happy with the wrestling controls, the grappling controls, the strike controls. I did mention that I wasn't very happy with the kick-out system nor the submission system. Submission system was fine. It was the last-ditch thing from the SmackDown vs. Raw days. And you guys really shouldn't have got rid of that because that was one of the last things keeping me on the game, on the franchise. The kick-out system, you guys have been toying with that for years. Take it back to the tapping buttons to kick out of a pin. There doesn't need to be a bar. There doesn't need to be nothing. That also adds drama to both players. Neither person knows if they're going to kick out. The player doesn't even know that's trying to kick out if he's going to kick out until it happens. That's what's so cool. That added a feeling of you were actually in the match. You know, like you were watching. So the kick-out system needs to go back to the ways of SmackDown vs. Raw, guys. The grappling system, the submission system needs to go back to the way. Same thing, tapping. If you want to have a bar for that, so be it. But that's my thoughts on that. The gameplay itself is amazing. All right. Those two control aspects, the kick-out system and the submission system, need some work. They don't really need work. They just need to go back to the way they were. The drama that you can make in these matches with the kickouts and the camera cuts, I will admit, has made me feel more immersed than I ever have in any of the games so far. Is it fun enough for me to play religiously like I used to? No. It's not. It's getting close. You're getting close to there. I'm praying that you guys keep improving upon the games as you have been from year to year with new ideas and new thoughts towards the series. Because when you do this, you're eventually going to get to a spot to where these games are going to be where they need to be at. So just keep doing what you're doing, working on them, improving. And please take into consideration the kick-out system and submission systems returning to their glorious days, to where everything worked a lot better. You know, that gives us everybody a fair shot online. But all I gotta say is, you have made me feel more immersed with the way you've got everything set up. You do have larger setup of moves available and stuff like that. Like I said, the creation suite looks amazing. The My Career mode is amazing. Thank you for that. Graphics are 7 out of 10. You're getting there. You're getting there. So I want to thank you for this opportunity, letting me review this game. It was an enjoyable experience, and it did not leave a bad taste in my mouth like last year's entry did. My final rating of this game, based on a scale of 1 to 5, is 3.5 out of 5 stars. That's way better than what I rated last year's when my friends would ask me. I wouldn't even give it 2 stars last year. Thank you, 2K, for the opportunity to review this game, and I want to thank you and hope you continue to reach out to me and other YouTubers to review your products. And keep up the hard work, because you've more than doubled my expectations this year. Guys, if you're an offline player, go check this game out. You will enjoy it. Thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, like and subscribe below.